Season 2 has seen some incredible highs and some unfortunate lows. Fantastic new players have come through the door, and plenty of formation changes have led us to an unlikely battle for the final Champions League spot in the closing stages of the season. And with just 6 games remaining, and the pressure on from the board and the media to secure European football this season, we are in for a very exciting season finale. But of course, if you are enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. And with so much riding on the final run in towards the end of the season, we are not leaving anything to chance. We have a mammoth game against our arch rivals Crystal Palace to get stuck into as we look to take the fight to Manchester City. Into Ludovic Blas. Blas goes back to Villa. Villa bursting down the right hand side, checks back to Blas, who switches onto his left. Oh my word, what a save. Koku will take the resulting corner, whips in a good ball, looking for the head of Evan Ferguson. And Evan Ferguson continues his incredible run of form with a fine header that gives us an early lead. Well, it was a wonderful whipped cross by Erkan Koku. And look at that from Evan Ferguson. There was just too much power on it. The man on the line could do nothing about it. And Evan Ferguson, yet again, powers us into a lead here at the Amex Stadium, right when we needed one. It's 1-0 Brighton. It's going to be a free kick to Palace in a very dangerous position that Arnold is going to try and step up to take. And he looks like he's going to go for the strike here. Oh my word, it's absolutely sensational. Well, there was no stopping that. Look at this free kick. Look at the bend and the perfect whip he gets on it. Just dinks it over the top of the wall. And Hugo Lloris smashes into the post in an attempt to try and save it. But he could do nothing about that one. And within a blink of an eye, Palace are back in the game. Villa brings the ball forward, unopposed here, continues to go forward. Evan Ferguson, though, checks back inside. Goes out wide to Pablo Maffeo, but it's Evan Ferguson is the type of man who I want in the box. But instead, Ludovic Blas and Patrick Vimmer. And my word, this game is unbelievable. This is an absolute goal fest inside the opening 20 minutes. More beautiful build-up play. This time it was Patrick Vimmer who was on hand to apply the finish. And what a finish it was. Just curled it round the goalkeeper. And we lead yet again, 2-1. Ludovic Blas all the way out wide to Patrick Vimmer. Nice ball. Going to try and find the run into Evan Ferguson. It's wonderful. And his shot is blocked off. But can he get onto the rebound? No, he can't. Good defending. Vimmer into Ludovic Blas yet again. Blas turns. He's got space to try and find the right pass here. But instead doesn't need a pass and he will strike. And in the end, it's easy for the goalkeeper as the referee blows for half-time. Lewis Dunk with a foray forward here into Harvey Barnes. Ugarte, another defensive player with another foray into Ludovic Blas. Oh, it's absolutely sensational yet again. Well, what a way to start the second half. And I feel like every single one of our goals have been absolutely brilliant. This time, it's Ludovic Blas with a thumping strike with his left foot. And we have daylight here, 3-1. Koku fires a wonderful ball over to Harvey Barnes on the left-hand side. He's now going to drive inside, but he's got a Stupinian with the overlapping run on the left. The Stupinian dinks it in, looking for Evan Ferguson, and he just got a little bit too fancy there, and he could have got on the end of it. Ibanez into Harvey Barnes, who brings it forward into Ugarte again, who finds himself in an advanced position, and again he gives it to Ludovic Blas, and again he fires it into the top right-hand corner. Well, we are just cutting through this Crystal Palace defence like a knife through butter. And it's almost a carbon copy of the third goal, but even more power from Ludovic Blas. I celebrate. It's 4-1. Stupinian. Harvey Barnes. Again Ugarte just making those deep runs from midfield. And he gets into the box and he can find Ludovic Blas, who's looking for his hat-trick. And it's a big save. Koku with the resulting corner fires it in, looking for the substitute, Ben Yedder. And it's another big save from Johnson. Tarek Lamptey on as a substitute, fires Erkan Koku. He turns nicely, finds Ugarte, shifts it onto his left and strikes, and in the end drags it well wide. Arnold for Palace in desperate search of some sort of consolation goal here, and they almost had it if it were not for brilliant outstretched arms of Hugo Lloris. And as the referee calls time on what was a fantastic Brighton performance, that man Ludovic Blas was absolutely perfect in the central attacking midfield position. His 2 goals were enough to put daylight between the two teams, as at full time it finishes Brighton 4, Crystal Palace 1. But despite that victory, City continue to do what they do best at the end of the season, and that is win games. They still remain in the 4th place spot and we've only got 5 more games to try and hunt them down. Starting with an important 3-1 away win against Sheffield United and a huge 3-0 win against Watford at the Amex Stadium. And with those 2 results meaning that we now have a game in hand on Manchester City, which if we win, we will draw level with them. Once again, we are leaving nothing to chance as we are going to head to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for a huge clash against the unlikely league leaders Tottenham, in a game in which the former Spurs man Hugo Lloris will be desperate to win, and we will be absolutely desperate to pick up the 3 points in. Bentancur for Spurs to bring it forward, finds a wonderful ball to Son, and Hugo Lloris is there to our rescue. Spurs look like they're going to go short for this corner. Heung-min Son with a short one to Brian Hill, and he twists, turns, looking to try and find an angle. Instead finds Bentancur, he finds Kimpembe. It's bouncing around like a pinball inside our penalty area, but we just cannot seem to get the ball clear here as Romero fires it in with his left, and Hugo Lloris says thank you very much. Evan Ferguson coming deep, finds Harvey Barnes. Wonderful stuff here as Harvey Barnes, he's going to try and look for the overlap of Estupiñán. He does. Estupiñán gives it back to Barnes, into Ugarte, into Ludovic Blas, and he was just too slow with his reactions. He could have put us 1-0 up there. Wimmer into Evan Ferguson. I'm going to try and dink this back over to Patrick Wimmer. It's a wonderful pass from Evan Ferguson, and he's going to try and look to put this back in the box, and Harvey Barnes with a big head didn't make the most of it. Bentancur just lifts that over into the path of Brian Hill. Nicely taken down for Harry Kane. And look at the space he's got to run into here. Roger Ibanez comes across to try and cover. Doesn't do a good enough job. Hugo Lloris does though, and he just about keeps us in this game. Brian Hill with the resulting corner. Just under a minute remaining here in this first half. We've got to try and see this attack out. Roger Ibanez just clears it away with his head. Bentancur scrapping with Patrick Wimmer. Wimmer's got the pace to get away from him, and the referee blows for half-time. Emerson Royale for Spurs. Oh, nice little dummy with the throw there, and he found Brian Hill in acres of space. Beautifully checked back into the box. Harry Kane back to Brian Hill. Lewis Dunk with a mammoth challenge. Bentancur into Heung-min Son. Spurs have started this second half as they mean to go on. Ball into Harry Kane into the box. Checks back for Højbjerg. And Hugo Lloris again to the rescue. It's another Spurs corner here. They are desperate to try and keep their title challenge alive here and try and get this 3 points. Heung-min Son in the box, blocked off by Lewis Dunk yet again. Harvey Barnes are going to try and look for the overlap. It's a wonderful overlap by Estupiñán. He's going to fire it across, and Kimpembe was there to block. Feo into Ugarte. He turns nicely, finds Harvey Barnes, who finds Estupiñán, who gets it back into the box again, but there's no one there this time. But Patrick Wimmer was actually at the far post, but made a bit of a hash of the volley. It does go out for a corner. Erkin Koku to take the resulting corner and whips it in for the head of Roger Ibanez, who cannot get onto it. The substitute to Hood heads it down to Patrick Wimmer again though, and with his left this time he forces Trapp into a big save. Koku yet again to take the corner. This time looks for Estupiñán, who yet again can't get his head on it. Dahoud will win it back though. Koku will have a second chance to whip it back in. He does. And this time the keeper gets there first. Sergio Reguilon, lovely pass into Harry Kane, who bursts through the midfield. And now he's going to try and take on Roger Ibanez. But he has come back into form here, and it's a brilliant challenge. Heung-min Son inside our penalty area. Finds Bentancur, finds Kane, who cannot find the back of the net. It's Hugo Lloris. He's like a wall today against his former club. Son will take the resulting corner. Yet again, it's Williams here, twisting, turning, trying to get away from Erkin Koku. It's into Højbjerg, Kimpembe, Son, Richarlison on as a substitute, smashes it against our defenders, and Hugo Lloris is grateful just to collect that one. Ludovic Blas looks for the substitute, Tarek Lamptey on the right-hand side. Doesn't really have too many options. He's twisting. He does manage to get away from the defender, though. Fires a ball in. It's too easy for the goalkeeper as the referee blows for full time. Well, that was a really tough match. That man Bentancur dominated the midfield for Spurs today. But Hugo Lloris in goal, well, my word, that was arguably his best performance in a Brighton shirt, and there can be no doubt that he kept us in that game. As at full time, it finishes here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Spurs 0, Brighton 0. Well, Hugo Lloris's rating may have gone down by 2 to 81, but what a performance from the veteran. Save after save after save for a man who was clearly on a mission to try and prove a point to his former club. Frustratingly though, it does mean that we are unable to take advantage of our game in hand, and we now sit 2 points behind City with just 2 games remaining. The first of which we do manage to get the 3 points in though, is it a 2-1 win against Chelsea, courtesy of another 2 Evan Ferguson goals. Which means it is all going to come down to the wire. 1 more game remaining. We have Nottingham Forest at the Amex Stadium. Manchester City have Fulham at the Etihad. But this is the moment that the Brighton players can write their names in the history books, and to help qualify Brighton for the Champions League, for the first time in the club's history. Worrell for Forest, into Williams. Williams with a nice pass into Teo Awani, and he's got space here. He's going to try and drive past Lewis Dunk, but Lewis Dunk again, who particularly in the last 6 months of this season has been absolutely sensational at the back. Feu, into Koku. Koku with a nice touch, into Ludovic Blas, even better ball into Patrick Wimmer. Wimmer's going to strike, and it's straight against the goalkeeper, and perhaps I would have been better served to try and play that one across the box. Gala tries to fire a ball over to the left-hand side, but it's well read by Stupinian, and Harvey Barnes can bring it forward. Ludovic Blas into Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson gets away from 2 defenders. Evan Ferguson continues this run. Oh my word, that might well be the best Evan Ferguson goal I've seen so far this season. Well, the development of this young man has been nothing short of sensational. Look at that, the touch, the turn to get away from the defenders, and the pace and power just to drive past the 2 centre-backs. And look at that, for calmness, composure, just to fire it past the goalkeeper. I think we may well have a superstar on our hands as he gives us a 1-0 lead. Awani, oh, nice pass into Morgan Gibbs-White, who's in the box here. It's Williams on the right-hand side. Dunk again, though, with another big challenge. Worrell from Nottingham Forest into Mangala. Lovely play into Kouame. And Hugo Lloris is on a mission. Nottingham Forest to take the resulting corner. It's going to be Morgan Gibbs-White to fire this one to the edge of the 6-yard box. It's Lewis Dunk, the man Mountain, who clears it away, and Patrick Wimmer with an even more acrobatic clearance to get it away. Kouame for Forest, being chased down by Ibanez. Gibbs-White, oh my word, Lloris again. Nottingham Forest are turning the screw here. It's another corner. I'm losing count of the amount of corners they have, and they're just bouncing it around in my penalty area. Gibbs-White has it again. Lovely stuff. Lovely one-touch passing from Forest. It's Worrell here trying to fight off the challenge of Ugarte. Ugarte eventually does manage to get the challenge in, but it's not enough, and Forest continue to come forward here. Mangala, no one putting in a challenge, and Roger Ibanez is there to intercept the pass. Hack it clear as the referee blows for half-time. Oh, that's a bad challenge from Williams. Horrendous, just came through the back of him, and that is a straight red card, and rightly so, for Neco Williams. Look at this for a challenge. Absolutely no attempt to try and play the ball. Patrick Wimmer just completely taken out. Let's take a look at the challenge in slow motion here as Neco Williams just comes from behind. No attempt to play the ball whatsoever, and Harvey Barnes is completely flattened. Ugarte fires it over to Estupinian. He's got Harvey Barnes ahead of him. Back to Estupinian. Nice play here. Estupinian into Koku, who strikes with his right. It's off the bar. Wimmer into Ugarte. Nice pass into Erkin Koku, who strikes again, and this time it's blocked off by the defenders. Toffolo for Forest. Into Kouame. Forest desperately searching for an equaliser here in spite of only having 10 men. They continue with the ball. Right on the edge of my penalty area. Danilo picks it up. Again, I'm trying to put a challenge in, but I can't seem to win the ball. Mangala now fighting off a challenge. And Ugarte manages to block it off for a Nottingham Forest corner. Erkin Koku into Lewis Dunk. Dunk out wide to Estupinian. Nice touch into Ugarte. Ugarte into Harvey Barnes. Very nicely done. Into the box. Finds Evan Ferguson, who just drags the shot wide. Mangala into Toffolo on the right-hand side. Oh, nice pass into Kouame. And again, they're in my penalty area. And again, they're looking dangerous here. But yet again, Lewis Dunk is in the right place at the right time to get the ball away. Into Erkin Koku. Dahoud. The spaces are opening up here as that 10-man advantage we have is much better as Estupinian just almost gave us a 2-0 lead. Erkin Koku's going to fire this one into the box, looking for the head of Harvey Barnes. He does manage to get his head on it, but again, it's not strong enough. Brennan Johnson for Nottingham Forest. Into Mangala. They still have men up here. They are desperately searching for an equaliser, and they may well have it sooner rather than later as Richards into the box. Nice footwork to get away from Tariq Lamptey. He's continuing, trying to get past Lewis Dunk, but that man has been a wall at the back for us, just what I needed him to. That's the referee blows for full time. Well, we have done what we needed to do. It's a win here in our final game of the season. Evan Ferguson, who has stepped up all season long, has stepped up yet again today with a brilliant goal. Full time it finishes Brighton 1, Nottingham Forest 0, and we've just got to hope that Fulham have done us a favour. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. A 1-0 win for City against Fulham means they clinch the final Champions League spot with 76 points. But it is a record 74 points and a record high 5th place finish for Brighton. That means we will be playing European football next season in the Europa League. No surprise to see Evan Ferguson topping the goal scoring charts. 25 goals in 37 Premier League appearances. What an unbelievable season for the now 19-year-old. Harvey Barnes has proved an inspired signing, 12 goals from him and 7 assists in all competitions. And Ludovic Blas, with his 10 goals and 7 assists, has been an outstanding contribution up front as well. My captain Lewis Dunk is still going strong at the ripe old age of 32. 36 appearances in the Premier League, 12 clean sheets. A mainstay at the back for us all season, and if it wasn't for his incredible performances, it would be more than likely we would not be playing European football next season. And the same can be said for this man, Hugo Lloris. He's now 37 years of age, but that has not stopped him being an absolute wall at the back for us all season. He's played every single game for us, and he's been absolutely outstanding. His wealth of experience have brought calmness, composure to my back line, and 14 clean sheets as a result. But with the 21-year-old Bart Verbruggen now heading back from his loan spell at Leicester City and now up to an 81 rating, there's going to be a serious fight on both of their hands to try and secure that number 1 spot next season. And as for the rest of the players, well, our starting 11 is actually looking pretty strong. The biggest problem, though, is our strength in depth. Ben Yedder has gone down to 79, and if you take a look at the rest of the bench, they're not quite up to scratch if we want to be qualifying for the Champions League next season. And as we head into the 3rd season here at Brighton in this career mode, the objective is going to be very simple: to bring Champions League football to Brighton Football Club for the first time in their history. But that is it for the end of today's episode. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.